Hey guys, I know it's been a little while since I posted a video. Sorry about that. But I've got a lot going on today and I figured I would go ahead and bring you guys along for the ride. Let's get started. So most of you guys know my Leopard Gecko, Ghost. He's in here somewhere. This is his enclosure. It is a 20-gallon long aquarium with a screen lid with little clamps on it to hold it in place. It's worked out really well for him and it's certainly big enough, but I'm gonna upgrade him anyway and give him a lot more room. There's some things about this setup that I don't love, and so I'm going to be changing them. Particularly all this rock and slate. It works great for him, he loves the rock and slate, but it's really hard to clean. Because the rocks and the bricks and everything are so heavy, cleaning it has been really kind of a pain. As you can see, he gets calcium powder everywhere. Also, I just want to give him a little bit more space. So this enclosure right here is for my ball python Charles, and it is an Exo Terra large low. And I love this enclosure. However, I'm getting a custom snake enclosure built. I'm gonna be picking it up next weekend, and so I've already moved Charles out of here. Right now he's in a little temporary plastic bin. He's in the middle of shedding, and this thing holds humidity a lot better. And so I'm just gonna leave him in here for the next week and then pull him out when it's time to put him in the custom enclosure. But let's go ahead and open this up. This is gonna work out really well for Ghost, I think. It's the same size as a 40-gallon breeder aquarium. It's just a little bit shorter. And so I think that'll be fine for Ghost because he won't be climbing as much. And I just need to empty everything that's in here out. This is a bioactive enclosure, but I did it wrong because there's no drainage layer. I only have one plant in here that's living anyway. Everything else is fake. All this foliage is fake. But then I do have this one live plant here, and it's doing really well, but I don't want to go bioactive with Ghost, especially not tropical bioactive. I probably will just get rid of everything that's in here, maybe save some of it for Charles's new enclosure, definitely sanitize everything. But as for Ghost, he's going to be getting some stuff from his old enclosure, a bunch of new stuff that I bought today. It's down here, a bunch of new stuff, and we'll be setting up this enclosure for him. So first things first, I need to empty everything out of it, and I need to sanitize the enclosure. So I've got this light here, this grow light for the plant. Go ahead and disconnect that from the timer. So a lot of this driftwood, cork bark, is going to have isopods and springtails crawling all over it. So I definitely want to sanitize all that and get all that off of there. Yep, I definitely see isopods and springtails on this. Half log hide, same story. It's got a bunch of isopods and springtails crawling around on it. This one live plant that's in here. I don't really have any soil or anything to pot it in, so I'm just going to take some of the dirt from in here. There we go. I'll just go set this out on my deck. So now all that's left in here is fake plants and bedding. Fake plants are definitely going to need to be sanitized. They've got isopods and springtails on them. Now all that I have left is some bioactive substrate. It is a mixture of eco earth, forest floor, and sphagnum moss. I also have a dead pothos plant in here. That's lovely. I tried growing pothos in here, it didn't work out. So I just need to get all of this bedding out. And then from there I can go ahead and clean the enclosure itself and the background. I'm going to have to remove the background probably and sanitize it as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some bags and start bagging up that bedding. Oh, that's lovely. I'm gonna have to vacuum after this. That's great. Now there's springtails in my carpet. There has to be a better way to do this. Okay, what if I'm just really, really careful when I put this on the floor? That also sucks, but it sucks a little less. Definitely isopods crawling around in here, not knowing what's happening. What do you guys do with your substrate, your bioactive substrate when you take it out of the enclosure? What do you do with it? Because there's isopods and springtails and all that in it. Do you just throw it away? Let me know what you guys do with it, because I feel weird about just throwing this in the trash. I feel like that's probably not the best thing to do. So I asked my followers on Twitter what I should do with the substrate, because I don't want to just throw it away with the isopods and the springtails living in it. I don't know if the isopods that are in there could potentially be invasive in my area. And so that bee chick suggested that I freeze it, and that's a really good idea. So that'll kill off whatever's living inside of it, and then I can throw it away once it's completely frozen. So this is going to kill off all of the isopods and the springtails that are living in here, and anything else that might be in here, like fungus gnats or whatever. So, and then I'll throw it away in a couple of days. Big shout out and thank you to that bee chick. Okay. Alright, I've got most of the substrate out. As you can see, there's still some in the corners, and the edges, a thin layer on the bottom still. But for the most part, most of it's out. So I'm going to take the enclosure down, start moving stuff to the bathtub to wash it. Remove all this foil that I taped on the top. I did this to hold humidity in because it was a ball python enclosure, but again, now it's going to be for a leopard gecko, so I don't need it to hold humidity. Thermostat. It's the thermostat right here. The heat pad I want to remove because it's starting to, well, it's more than starting to, it's peeling off. So this has been peeling off, as you can tell. It's just barely on there. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to find a way to reuse this, because just because it's losing its stickiness doesn't mean it's not a good heat mat. So I might find a way to like tape that back on with duct tape or something. And I'm going to take this outside and hose it off. I'll be back. Alright, it's all washed. I ended up washing it in the bathtub so that way I could wash it in scalding hot water. Now I need to reattach the heat mat, which, like I said before, the heat mat is, the stickiness has come off of it, so I'm going to use duct tape to hold it in place. Probably should just stand this up on its back side. I'll do that. So for flooring for this enclosure, instead of using slate and rock like I did in his existing enclosure, I've decided to use this kitchen cabinet liner. I've seen a lot of people use this before, and I think I want to give it a try. It looks like it's going to be a lot easier to clean. Also, everything that is going into the enclosure, as far as hides and all that, is going to be lightweight, so I'll be able to easily remove everything and clean everything. Unlike now, how everything is brick and rock. So let's go ahead and open this up. And I'm probably going to have to cut this down to size because it is a little bit big. But here's the pattern that I chose. So here's what it looks like in there. Obviously, this whole bedding area here, I'm not going to be using it for bedding. I'm just putting the kitchen liner down. That's what it looks like. Up next, I'm going to be setting up the thermostat. This is the same thermostat I was using before for Charles, but I'm going to use it now for Ghost. Also, I'm going to get the background and attach that because I want the thermostat wire to go behind the background. I've got the background has this little notch in it for it to do so. And the background is a very tight fit now with this kitchen mat here. It does still fit, it's just a very snug fit. And now it's time to move Ghost out of this enclosure and put him in a temporary enclosure because some of the things that are in his existing enclosure are going to be moved up to this enclosure, and then I bought some new things for this enclosure as well. So I'm going to go ahead and remove Ghost out of here, and I'm going to put him in a critter keeper just for the time being. There he is. I'm going to set him off to the side for now. There are a few things in his current enclosure that I want to put in his new enclosure, such as his fake plants and his fake vines. Also some of these rocks, not all of them, because I don't want to use the bricks or anything like that, but I do want to use some of the decorative rocks. And I also want to use his humid hide. Everything that I'm taking out of his existing enclosure, I'm going to sanitize in scalding hot water, just like I did everything that was in the snake enclosure. With the exception of this thermometer, everything that's being reused from this enclosure has been removed. As you can see, all that remains is the rock scape. I am even reusing some of the rocks that were in here, like the ones that were up here and right here. There's a rock right here. I'm reusing those in the new enclosure, but I'm not reusing pretty much anything that's left in here except for this thermometer. So I'm going to go ahead and sanitize everything now, and I'll be back. All right, everything's been sanitized in scalding hot water. I'm going to pull this background off a little bit again because I want to add this thermometer. Now, something about these clips on the top, one of them fell off in the bathtub and went down the drain. So I might have to tape the lid on the left side. I hope not, but I might have to. Now I can start adding things to the enclosure. All right, so I guess I'm going to start with his hides. So I got 3 new hides today at PetSmart. One of them is this kind of rock cave hide. Then I got him this kind of rock cave hide. And then I also got him a bendy bridge hide, which is really meant for like hamsters and small rodents. Small rodent stuff works for reptiles and it's a lot less expensive. I've hidden the thermometer and thermostat probes underneath this rock here, and then I hung this vine up right behind it just to kind of hide the wires. I'm gonna put this hide right here, and that'll be one of his warm hides. And then I'm gonna put the bendy bridge right here to be his other warm hide. Just so that way he has his choice between this one and this one. I'm going to take this other new hide that I bought, I'm going to put it on the other side to act as his cool hide. Fake plant. Where do I want to put that? I think I want to put it right here, actually. Put another vine over here on this side. Scatter some of his rocks around. Here is his humid hide. I just put some fresh Eco Earth in it. I still need to wet it. I will actually put this right here where this is. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is that previously I was using 2 of these dishes, one for his water and one for his calcium. But I'm going to continue using one of these as his water dish, but then for his calcium, I'm downgrading from this to this. It's a lot smaller, and the reason I'm doing that is because Ghost likes to get in his calcium dish and make a big mess, and I don't want him doing that anymore, so I'm giving him a new calcium dish that's a lot smaller. Let's go ahead and put some fresh water in here, both in his humid hide and in his water dish. Now, put some water in his water dish. There we go. And a spoonful of calcium without D3 for his little calcium dish. And of course, I spill it. There we go. Of course, I got calcium all over his brand new clean enclosure. Let me give you guys a quick tour of it before I put Ghost in. So on the left side, this is his cool side. I just have a couple of jungle vines hanging up on the side. And I got his little fake tree right in front here. I've got some rocks right here. These are known as zebra rock. That's what they look like. And then right behind here, you can see I've got a hide. That is his cool hide right there. That's a brand new hide that I just bought at PetSmart today. And then right here, that is his shed box or humid hide or moist hide or however you want to say it. Inside of there, I have wet Eco Earth. And you can use any kind of humidity retaining substrate inside of a humid hide or a shed box that you want. You can use paper towel, you can use sphagnum moss, it doesn't matter. A lot of people say you should not use Eco Earth as a dry substrate for leopard geckos, and that's true, but inside of a humid hide, it works pretty well. When Eco Earth is wet, it stays compacted pretty well, and so the chance of him ingesting any of it is pretty low, especially since he's not going to be eating inside his humid hide. Over here, I just have one of his orange desert rocks. I have another one over here in the corner. Over here, this is his warm side. I've got a cave hide right here. This is brand new, I just got it today. And then I also got his bendy bridge right here. It'd be interesting to see how he decides to use that. And then up front here, I've got his brand new calcium dish that I bought today that's full of calcium without D3, and his water dish, which he's had for a while now. Over here on the side, I have the thermometer that I set up down here, as well as the thermostat. I literally just plugged this in, so it hasn't heated up yet. Right now it's 75 degrees over here, but it's set at 90 degrees, so it's going to take a little time, but it's going to warm up. Let's go ahead and get Ghost and put him inside. Look at him. He wants out. Let me out, he says. Here we go. There you go, Ghost. Enjoy your new home. Alright guys, we're going to close this up and let him have some time to settle in. Well, there you go guys. That is Ghost's new upgraded enclosure. It is the Exo Terra Large Low. It is 36 inches long by 18 inches deep by 12 inches tall. This is well above the minimum requirements for a Leopard Gecko. I upgraded him from this 20-gallon long. I don't want anyone to think that I'm implying that your Leopard Gecko needs something this large. Certainly they do appreciate the space, but if your Leopard Gecko is in something like a 20-gallon long, that is perfectly fine. I just happen to have this enclosure on hand as I'm upgrading my snakes to larger enclosures, and I know that Ghost is going to appreciate and use this enclosure in all of its space. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button down below. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.